In this video, I'm going to walk through getting pyenv set up and setting up a virtual environment on Ubuntu for Windows. Now, the easiest way to do this is to go to the pyenv GitHub site. There's nice directions, and you can copy and paste all of the commands straight from there. And I'll put a link to that in the description. So the first thing you need to do, open up a terminal, which we have open here, and then we're going to paste in the command to clone the GitHub repository. Once I've done that, you can see that I have a pyenv directory in my home folder. I should also mention you want to make sure you're in whatever your home folder is at this point. You can just type cd. You can just type cd and that will bring you to your home folder. The next thing we're going to need to do is modify our bashrc file so that pyenv works. And the pyenv page gives you 3 commands that will update your bashrc file, and then let's see, so we don't have a bash profile, but we do have a profile. So again, these are also things that you may want to add there. And again, the pyenv GitHub page lists those for you. So now that we've done that, we can source bashrc, and that should give us pyenv. So the next thing you're going to want to do, now that you have pyenv installed, is install a specific Python version. And if you say pyenv install -l, that'll give you a list of the available Python versions. And you can see that there's quite a bit. And I'm getting tired of scrolling. And at the very top of this list, you're going to get the actual official Python versions. So let's go ahead and see what the latest one it has is. So let's do 3.13.5. So now we're going to say pyenv install 3.13.5. And that'll download and install that version of Python in our pyenv instance. And that'll take a few moments. So you can see I got an error here, and that's a pretty common error that happens. It just means that I haven't installed everything that needs to get installed. So there's some commands to do that, and I will include those in the description. And then I'll run those now. And now I'll restart the install, and it should succeed this time. And so now you see that the Python version is complete. I can say pyenv versions, and you can see Python 3.13.5 is one of the available Python versions for me. Now, if you use virtual environments in Python, which you should be, there's a plugin for pyenv that lets you run those with your installed pyenv versions. I'll post a link to the directions because it's easier just to copy and paste. So you're going to clone the virtual environment plugin, and now that that's done, we have one line to add to our bashrc, and we'll do it to profile as well. I don't really know if that's necessary, but we did it for pyenv, so we'll do it here. And we'll reload our bashrc. And now, if we want to create a new virtual environment, we can say pyenv virtual environment, give it the version of Python we want to use, and give it a name. Now, to see how all this works, if I run just Python, you'll see that that command's not found, and that's because I don't have a base Python installation that points to Python 3. And so you can see Python 3 does work in my system. But you'll notice this is 3.10.12 because this is the system Python that was installed. So if I close out of that, and now if I say pyenv activate cgc python, notice that my prompt changed. I now have the version in the prompt, and if I type Python version, you can see it's 13.3.5. It's the virtual environment that I just created. And so now I'm able to run Python code. So let's go to one of the examples I have. And I can run my Hello World program here. Also, one other really nice feature is, suppose that I know that anytime I want to come to this folder, I'm going to want to use the CGC Python virtual environment, which makes sense because this is where I do my code examples for CGCC, right? So I can say pyenv local, and now I'll go up a level, and I'll close this window, and I'll start a new one. pyenv versions is still there, But now notice if I say Python version, actually I need to say Python 3 version, because again, we're using the installed Python for the system, not pyenv. So now though, if I go to my Python folder, notice without doing anything, the CGC Python environment was activated because I used pyenv local. And if I say pyenv local, you can see that it tells me what's there. Also, if I go into a subdirectory, that version of Python is still going to be active because it's active for that directory that you set it to the local environment in, and also all of its subdirectories. So now if I say Python, I'll do my list directories here, you can see it runs this, and now I have a virtual environment. I can install things to my heart's content without affecting the installed version of Python. And I can also use local to create instances of Python that are focused on one particular project or group of projects for whatever needs that come up.